Today's World Cup qualifying match is brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer, this Bud's for you. By Texaco and Haviland, proud sponsors of U.S. soccer. Texaco, fueling the dream. And by Chevrolet. Chevy, we'll be there. Temperature in the low 20s in Columbus, Ohio, alongside Ty Keogh with Rob Stone, our on-field reporter. The game is on again. Mexico going left to right in this second half. Both teams begin the second half with the same 11s with which they finished the first half. Palencia still warm out of the locker room, looking for some kind of break. Agus plays it back. Friedel has to left foot it away from the oncoming Pardo. Marquez hacked hard by Armas in midfield, going down, holding his shin.
Oh, we'll be seeing more of that as the teams battle it out at midfield. We saw Friedel there making a good play in a difficult situation with his left foot. Some people question, why isn't Casey Keller in the goal for the United States? The fact is, Bruce Arena did not want to bring him in so late. He had duty for Rayo Vallecano in the Spanish league on the weekend.
Chima Ruiz into the box. Agus. Joe Max Moore. Back to Mathis. Long ball for Wolf. He's onside. Campos way out. Moore. He's got Wolf. Wolf scores!
Campos, the man on the spot here. Clint Mathis, practically his first touch of the game, in behind the Mexican defense, just like we talked about a moment ago. Campos, who loves to come off his line and make the dramatic play, ends up getting beaten by the speed of Josh Wolf. Good thinking by Mathis, though, to play the ball into that big gap. Campos, thinking he could close the gap, does not get there in time. And it's an easy finish then for Josh Wolf with his getaway speed. So think about it.
Down their two key offensive players, and the two guys who come in for them produce the goal.
Unbelievable. Clint Mathis on for Claudio Reyna. Plays a brilliant early ball over the Mexican defense. Josh Wolf in for the injured Brian McBride. With his speed, puts the finish on it.
And Campos, the ever flamboyant keeper, taking the big gamble and not playing it safely, coming well out of his penalty area.
Frankly, underestimating Josh Wolf's speed.
He'd never seen it. At least not like this. And Campos has the goat's horns growing right now for Mexico, which had played extremely well, had gotten the better of the play in the first half.
Well, to give Campos credit, we showed a couple of them. By him coming off his line 2 or 3 times in the first half, he stopped scoring opportunities by the United States.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Texaco. Josh Wolf. An amazing break for the U.S. Suddenly there seems some calm among the players wearing the white uniforms. Hernandez, Luna, Agus will give up the corner. Luna has been dangerous on the left side. Jeff Agus and Eddie Pope very, very solid on the U.S. back line. They are the central defenders tonight. Reggie is wide left and Sane is wide right in the back 4. The corner to the near post. Agus heading it up. Friedel with the snatch. He wants the quick counter. Jones against Villa. Jones away from Palencia. Outside of the foot flick. Mathis holds the ball nicely. Here's Armas. Sane. Wolf, the goal scorer. Sane for Joe Max Moore onside. Stewart running to the far post. Moore holding the ball nicely. Ruiz picks his pocket. Chima Ruiz. Armas angling. Luna. Goes for the far post, shanks it. Goal kick to the U.S.
Well, Jack, anytime a player is so wide open behind the defenders, you think he may have been offside. But if you look right here, when the ball comes into Clint Mathis and he hits it right now, he's hitting it. Josh Wolf is in his own half of the field. You cannot be offside if you're in your own half of the field when the ball is struck to you. No offside here. Mathis goes in and scores.
Look at the remarkable turn.
I meant Josh Wolf goes in and scores on the ball from Mathis.
The remarkable turn that Wolf makes to go onto that ball in space.
He does possess tremendous balance. In his own half of the field, when Mathis hit the ball, no chance of there being an offside.
2 games, 2 goals against Mexico. Of course, this one vastly more important than the last one. This is a World Cup qualifier. Final round of qualifying. Mathis trying to half volley. Here's Joe Max Moore in alone against Campos. Moore tackled from behind. Play on, says Cibrian. The ball goes out for a corner to the U.S. I think the tackler got a little bit of ball here.
It's not that bad of a tackle. The problem here is Joe Max Moore thinks he has the luxury of being able to get the ball over onto his right foot. No offside here. He timed his run well. But when he goes to put it on his right foot, it gives a chance for the defender to get a leg in on the tackle. If Joe Max Moore strikes that ball with the left foot, he gets the shot off.
This portion of the match brought to you by Budweiser. Joe Max Moore's corner. Pope goes over the top. The U.S. bringing the attack at Mexico. This is exactly the opposite way that we figured this game would go.
United States trying to make it pay here on the set play. It's a good in-swinger. Eddie Pope gets up well. A lot of traffic, though, out in front of him.
Valencia working in combination with Hernandez on the right. Hernandez against Agus. Agus lets him go middle. The flick for Luna. Here's Hernandez on the far post, but Sane tracking back. Mathis clears out, but gives it up to Pardo. Luna. Chips for Hernandez. Friedel goes out to cut off the angle.
Friedel did not have that much to do in the first half of play. Even though Mexico looked dangerous on a few counterattacks and they worked the ball very well, Braulio Luna with the in-swinger left foot sneaks it in to Hernandez with the high boot. Fearlessly Friedel off of his line, though, to snare it.
Wolf. Moore. Macias turns it. Trying to spring Hernandez. Agus off the chest for Pope. Pope drills it out over the sideline. Hernandez. Mathis, the slide tackle. Hernandez, heel pass, clever. Via square and hard for Carmona. Stewart pops it up. Marquez tracking back. Wolf the challenge. U.S. wants to throw in and gets the call. Moore tries to volley corner.
Wolf was afraid he was offside, so he had stopped his run.
You see streamers out in front of Jorge Campos' goal, right in front of Sam's Army, the gigantic throng that is all dressed in red behind the goal at which the U.S. is shooting in this second half. There it is, Sam's Army. Freezing cold, but delighted right now. The U.S. up 1-0 on Josh Wolf's goal. Villa taken down. Mexico will get the restart. Putting it in play quickly. Suarez. Marquez. Carmona. Into the box. Armas. Pardo gives it up. Mathis punching it left side for Wolf. Moore in the middle. Wolf against Suarez. 1-on-3. Runs into a hard tackle. Carmona takes the ball away. Pardo looks long. Valencia pops it over Agus. Agus in good position. Heads it back. Friedel has it in front of Hernandez. Rob Stone on the sideline. Rob, go ahead.
They came out for the second half. They said the passing needs to be better. We've got to play more to feet. and less over and up soccer. Said very happy with the defense, but we got to find Kobe and Ernie Stewart more often. One interesting note, after that Josh Wolf goal, Bruce Arena celebrated, ran right to Frankie Haydick and said, get ready, warm up, you may be my defensive stopper late in the game.
Almost a giveaway between Macias and Campos with Kobe Jones pressuring here. Well, it's funny that they wanted to play more to the feet, not over the top, and Mathis ends up going over the top perfectly into space. And Wolf shows off his brilliant speed to beat Campos.
Well, now that you have the lead, though, it is good to maybe spread the ball, get it out wide, play it on the ground. That eats up more of the clock. It keeps Mexico chasing so that they cannot mount the counterattacks that they're so good at.
Valencia comes square. Pardo, here's a big push. Pardo looking for Hernandez. Eddie Pope there. Luna was crashing to the far post. It would have been a walk-in if Pope hadn't been there. This is as well as we've seen Eddie Pope play in about a year, maybe more. Pope had constant injury problems of one sort or another last year. Mathis tries to split the defense. Villa takes him down. The yellow card is out for Villa in the 56th minute. We see the substitution coming in. Let's take a look at the highlights of the game so far.
Well, lowlights for some people. Brian McBride, injury. Only about 15 minutes into the match. He collides heads with Macias. Claudio Reyna also late in the first half had to leave. But the substitutes made a difference. The guys that came on for the key U.S. players made the goal. Mathis setting up Josh Wolf.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Chevrolet. In the 56th minute, Villa getting the yellow card for the late tackle. Zepeda has gone in for Carmona. Carmona, a very talented player, but now he is gone. Zepeda is a terrific one-on-one player, also can cross the ball. He's a good right-sided player.
Well, Zepeda is an out-and-out winger, whereas Carmona is more of an attacking wingback, so Mexico has adjusted to look for the equalizer here.
Bruce Arena, frankly, thought that Carmona was a better player than Ruiz, who was playing the opposite side on the defensive line. So he must be a little bit pleased by this substitution. Luna going out wide for Palencia. Pope tracking him. Jones gets a piece of the pass. Villa forward for Luna. Pope getting in the way. Palencia square. Luna across. Off Armas. Luna against Sane. Off Sane. A corner for Mexico.
That's a pretty solid defending. Particularly Eddie Pope, his positioning has been flawless. He's cut out some very dangerous balls as Palencia and Hernandez look for each other in those central combinations.
Pardo's in swinger through the 6-yard box on the flick on. Clint Mathis. Marquez tracking. Mathis turning on the speed up the sideline. Palencia challenging. Zepeda back for Villa, who has dropped back even farther now with Zepeda, the offensive-minded player, into the game. Agus, Armas gets it into space for Sane. Wolf running toward the corner. Sane square for Mathis. He can hold it here. Takes on Villa. Mathis trying for Jones. Arno on the clear to Zepeda. Now Agus forward. Joe Max Moore for Mathis. Mathis takes the shot. Campos the save. The U.S. starting to find some seams.
And I think Mexico surprised by the speed of Clint Mathis right there in front of you. Also on the goal. Campos surprised by the speed of Josh Wolf, players that the Mexican team have not seen much of.
Zepeda, Palencia, Pardo, Zepeda, can't get around Agus. No one has gotten around Agus tonight. David Regi, 1-on-2, plays it back for Agus. He serves it out of the back, looking for Kobe Jones. Suarez gets the high elbow in.
Yeah, but Jones won the header over a guy that's about 4 inches taller than him.
Joe Max Moore, cleverly played ball for Jones, tries to slide through Suarez, can't get there. Hernandez Hernandez against Pope. Hernandez flicks with the heel, trying for the far post. He's got brilliant ability to improvise. Doesn't quite work this time, but Luis Hernandez, ever dangerous.
Amazing instincts and tremendous hustle by Hernandez.
Costa Rica plays the United States in Kansas City on the 25th of April, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com. By the way, fans in the Kansas City area, tickets now are available to the general public, and the challenge is out there. The folks of Columbus, Ohio, 207 Ohio communities have sent people to this game. People from 38 states are here tonight in Columbus. Kansas City has the next date, and it would be great to see Arrowhead Stadium practically full, if not full. Josh Wolf, Joe Max Moore. Fires it across for Stewart. Campos barely has it. And Stewart holds up the fist to say, that's a great ball. Another 6 inches, and that's another goal for the U.S. Here's some possession. Armas, Stewart. This is what Bruce Arena wanted to see in the first half from the U.S. Hold the ball, move it around, make the ball do the running. Show to the ball and get open. Hernandez. Zepeda going up the right wing. Hernandez plays a ball off the outside of the foot, and Regis comes back. Friedel will play it left-footed.
Luckily for the United States, Hernandez not a great passer of the ball. A giveaway by Tony Sana on the right side of the defense. You can't have that in these situations.
Mathis going through from Wolf. Clint Mathis. Oh, what a steal by Marquez coming from behind. He reached through, took the ball, and got it cleanly. Zepeda against Regis. Armas picks his pocket. Joe Max Moore. Jones racing forward. Moore holding. Stewart with Hernandez on the late challenge. Regis. Fakes the chip, now plays it forward. Stewart.
The ball on the ground like Bruce Arena wanted.
This is 9 passes in a row.
Rob Stone talked about it after having heard Bruce Arena emphasize it to his players.
Pope takes the space. Jones chopped by Ruiz. And this will be a free kick for the U.S. This portion of the match is brought to you by Nike. We're in the 62nd minute in Columbus, Ohio. Josh Wolf's 47th minute goal on a springing pass from Clint Mathis has put the U.S. up 1-0. If you weren't with us in the first half, both Brian McBride and Claudio Reyna had to leave the game because of injury, and frankly, things were looking a bit glum for the U.S. But an extraordinary, spirited attack here in the second half has carried the play. Agus. Headed out by Marquez. That's a corner for the U.S. Now the U.S. has the low-risk opportunity where it can bring up some big men from the back. Send Pope forward. Send Sané forward. Drop back Armas and Stewart. Regis racing through. Agus the challenge. Here's Mathis. He can shoot. The little chip doesn't work.
Well, perhaps a bit more of a challenge for the United States to keep possession without Claudio Reyna, but we saw a moment ago they put about 10 or 11 passes consecutively together. Regis keeping it into Joe Max Moore. The ball went side to side. The U.S. able to keep it.
Joe Max Moore with a steal here. Stewart tries the ball for Jones. Finds him. Jones the heel pass. Nobody there in his wake. Macias runs it out of his penalty area. Marquez. Villa. Off Armas, out of bounds. Why we show you the possession? Because it's one of Ty Keogh's keys to the match.
Well, we've seen the possession even without Claudio Reyna here in the second half. It's been a big difference. Now the counterattacks are still a danger for Mexico because we saw just a second ago Tony Sana give a ball away on the far side, and Mexico broke with 5 or 6 players. They're going to go for broke and look for the equalizer.
It's a corner. Brilliant speed.
Josh Wolf stretching the Mexican defenders to their absolute limit. He's up against a very experienced defender. Claudio Suarez, one of the most experienced players in the world at his position. And Suarez, all he could do was to be able to stay and give up a corner kick to Josh Wolf.
Josh Wolf, a college teammate of Clint Mathis. A lot of South Carolina Gamecocks pretty proud of the goal-scoring combination tonight. Agus' corner. Luna heading it up. Jones tries the volley. Oh, it caught Regis square flush in the head. Campos was diving to try to make a save. Can you imagine taking the ball in 20-degree weather like that? It's amazing Regis got up and walked. Luna tries Palencia. Too hard. Stewart has it. Luna goes down. This portion of the match is brought to you by Jolly Rancher.
Chance a moment ago. Kobe Jones absolutely wallops the ball from the edge of the box after the corner kick. You see it here. It's only partially cleared. Watch Campos in the orange shirt in the foreground. He's going for the left side, but it hits Regis out in front.
Off the long clearance, Marquez has it. The captain, Claudio Suarez, turns away from Wolf. Macias. 5-1 the shots in the second half for the U.S. Chima Ruiz against Sane. And Jones helps out. Defensive help, one of the principles of a successful defense. Palencia turns and fires on Friedel. Not a bad idea. Keep him honest. If you're just joining us across the top of the hour, alongside Ty Keogh and with Rob Stone, our sideline reporter, welcome to frigid Columbus, Ohio. The United States selected this venue to try to make Mexico uncomfortable. The U.S. lost two key players, Brian McBride and Claudio Reyna, in the first half against Mexico. It ended 0-0, but then in the second half, the U.S. struck early. A goal by Josh Wolf from Clint Mathis. Now Zepeda attacking for Mexico, off Regis, and Stewart comes over to sky the ball out of danger.
Ernie Stewart, Kobe Jones, guys like this have been through these wars with Mexico over and over and over again. What a rivalry. These teams, and Mexico does not like to lose to the United States.
The corner, headed out, Regis there. Zepeda goes for the far post. It was offside. And there is a good look at Miguel Zepeda. He has scored 7 goals for his country. A cap is an international appearance. Friedel from Bay Village, Ohio, hits it about halfway back there, a 70-yarder. Villa knocks it down. Palencia. Sane steps into the seam. Ernie Stewart holds. Agus too hard forward for Josh Wolf. Agus often will serve beautiful balls out of the back. That's a rare error.
More importantly, in this game, on several occasions, Jeff Agus has elected to blast the ball as far as he could out of danger as Mexico tried to pressure the United States in their own end of the field. And there is a time and a place for that.
Victor Ruiz has come into the game, and Rafael Marquez is out, so this is more offense coming on for Mexico. Marquez a backliner and Ruiz a midfielder. And Ruiz immediately gets the ball. Challenged by Joe Max Moore. Finds Zepeda up the sideline. Pardo,
ladies and gentlemen, your attention,
holding the ball. Zepeda helping out in traffic. It comes off Regis. There you see some of the Mexican skills. There's a whole lot of room, but they never lost possession of the ball.
Jack, as Mexico has moved to a 3-5-2, perhaps a perfect opportunity.
Palencia now with the break past Regis. Palencia, what a save by Friedel!
Palencia would love to have that one back because it was not an easy save for Friedel. You'll see him here, well positioned. Good ball by Hernandez into Palencia. Palencia beats Regis to the ball. And it's good pressure at the last moment by Agres. But he doesn't really force Friedel to stretch for it.
Off the corner, Joe Max Moore. Up to Stewart. Zepeda settles. Mexico attacking hard here. The chip into the box. Agres heads it. Valencia bangs it right back in. There's Friedel. He wants the quick counter. The lone man is Wolf. That man is the lone wolf, maybe.
What you would like to see, Jack, is the United States be able to give Mexico a bit of their own medicine. If Mexico is going to risk by sending more players into attacking positions, play fewer people at the back, how good is Mexico at taking advantage of that, scoring a goal on the counterattack? The United States needs to make Mexico pay for risking so much looking for the equalizer.
Luna called for grabbing the jersey. Joe Max Moore coming up a little bit sore. There will be a lot of bruises on both teams' players tomorrow morning. Well, it's that kind of speed that Mathis and Wolf have shown in this game that makes the counterattack so deadly. Hernandez has it for Mexico as well. This portion of the match brought to you by Allstate. Kobe Jones out on the wing against Chima Ruiz. Victor Ruiz and Chima Ruiz both in the game now. We got a call going against Jones, according to the referee's assistant down in the corner. And Mexico will have to bring the ball back for a restart. Macias offering some counsel to the referee, Rodolfo Cibrian of El Salvador. Ball played across the box. Moore looking for it. Villa. Hernandez knocks it down. Tries the outside of the foot flick. Sane has none of it. Stewart takes the ball away. Kobe Jones trying to get away. This is Wolf against Chima Ruiz. Victor Ruiz gets a piece of Wolf. Victor Ruiz with the ball. Luna against Stewart.
Stewart taking on a more defensive role in midfield alongside of Chris Armas at times here as the U.S. looks to defend the lead.
Pardo. Zepeda comes back to the ball. Reggie, the defender. Pardo. Joe Max Moore. Solid tackle. Zepeda quickly looking for Pardo. Gets it to Hernandez. Chips toward the middle. Valencia. Jones coming back into his box to make the play. Joe Max Moore keeps it in bounds. Square for Stewart, who shows nicely. He has Mathis right. Through ball looking for Wolf.
The man to play there was Mathis. Wolf and held up his run so that he would not be offside. But in holding it up, he'd actually drawn a couple of Mexican defenders over to the left side, and leaving Mathis even more open.
73rd minute of the match. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allstate. Pardo for Valencia. It bounces through Armas. Valencia patient. Ruiz. And another play by Armas to take the ball away cleanly. Reggie. Macias chesting it down. The captain, Suarez. Valencia. Good combinations from Mexico here. There's some fluidity in the attack in the last few minutes. Reggie heads it back for Friedel.
Nice cool under pressure by David Reggie. Mexico starting to threaten, as they do have more attacking-minded players now in their lineup with the substitutions.
Macias. Luna has Valencia forward, but carries for Hernandez. Hernandez back to Luna, has a seam. Zepeda goes for the far post. Sane turns it upfield. Hernandez a little bit quicker. Into the middle. Victor Ruiz off to Villa.
Mexico now with 8 players fully committed to the attack.
Zepeda taking on Reggie, turns him around. Zepeda into the middle, diving header attempt to the far post. And again tracking back Sane, preventing Hernandez from getting a clean contact on the ball. Luna goes down in the middle of the box in his diving header attempt.
Zepeda almost playing as a third forward on the right side. A good cross. Very tight marking initially by Eddie Pope, who's had a whale of a game, and then Tony Sane. And the marking is going to have to continue to be that tight if the United States wants to keep the shutout here against Mexico.
Third and final substitute for Mexico. Braulio Luna, who just went down, comes out. Jesus Arellano comes into the game. And here's the corner to the short post. Agus heading it up. A couple of American players stumbling. Suarez trying to head it forward. Somebody's got to take control, and finally it's Chris Armas wearing the captain's armband in Reyna's injured absence. Pretty catch out on the wing by Cepeda, but Jones picks his pocket. Reggie looking for more. Suarez leans in to win it. Macias. Victor Ruiz to Macias. Now to the man who just came in, Arellano. Arellano against Armas. Palencia. There's Pope again. But all the plays in the U.S. end right now. There's a long way to go. 15 minutes and then stoppage time. Arellano, Hernandez, outside of the foot. Sane blasts it. An uneasy feeling here in the crowd in Columbus. Some murmuring going on as the green-clad Mexicans begin to take the attack to the U.S. Down a goal. Hernandez tries the wall pass. Friedel inside his 6-yard box, denying Chima Ruiz.
Mexico at times here playing with only 2 defenders back. They've pushed 4 into midfield, and with the 2 wingers now, especially with Cepeda on the right side, it's a 4-man forward line.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Texaco. Arellano. Victor Ruiz. Palencia. Joe Max Moore trying to track back and winning the ball against Pardo, and Moore has been banged up an awful lot tonight. He was down on the field a few moments ago, but he tracks back.
Desperation, though, evident in this tackle by Joe Max Moore, and a very risky tackle. He did get ball, and he lunged it and could have gotten the man, and it would have resulted in a penalty.
10 corners now for Mexico as Victor Ruiz places this one down. To the short post, Suarez tries to flick on, but Agus is in the way. Hernandez goes diving down through the middle on contact, trying to draw a penalty kick.
Or maybe not much contact.
The 11th corner kick. How many times can they knock on the door without getting in? Agus follows clear. Victor Ruiz against Jones. Pardo turning Stewart this way and that way, but loses possession. Goal kick to the U.S. And listen to the encouragement here in Columbus.
On the last corner kick, Hernandez in between a couple of defenders. The minute he feels a white sleeve even brush up against him, he goes falling to the turf. And he's trying to buy a call, and sometimes he's good enough to do it.
The U.S. needs a little bit of counterattack right now. The U.S. needs to get it out of its own end. Mexico's starting to look a little too comfortable moving the ball. Wolf trying to spring more. Macias. Suarez, the captain, who was functioning almost as the back of the back line in almost a sweeper position at times, has pushed forward. This clearly is an offensive thrust by Mexico, leaving some space open behind, but the U.S. hasn't been able to get the ball through the middle third of the field to exploit that space. Villa. Victor Ruiz. Suarez to Macias. Chima Ruiz. Arellano. Right on the sideline. Sane, the defender. Arellano showing some speed. Victor Ruiz. Palencia turns and fires, and Friedel's in perfect position.
Bit of squabbling going on right now between Palencia and Hernandez. Hernandez wanted a pass from Palencia rather than this shot, which again did not really test Friedel.
Friedel with a 75-yarder. Mathis a flick for Wolf, but Wolf is a half step offside. Joe Max Moore is going to come off for Carlos Llamosa.
In the 47th minute, a couple of substitutes combined. Clint Mathis lifts the ball over the top of the Mexican defense. No offside. Josh Wolf was in his own half of the field when the ball was played by Mathis. He beats Campos to the ball, puts it away, and that's the lone goal of the game with 11 minutes approximately left in this one. Can the United States hold on?
This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. Yamosa on for Joe Max Moore. That is the back line for the front line. As the U.S. goes into a more defensive posture, but perhaps just trying to beef up the middle third of the field. Regis taken down from behind by Cepeda. This will be a free kick for the U.S., and they'll let a lot of clock run before they play this ball.
The United States now will play with 3 central defenders, essentially, in Jeff Agus, Eddie Pope, and Carlos Yamosa. Regis will play wide on the left, and Tony Sane remains wide on the right.
Armas to Wolf. This is Stewart. Suarez chasing, and Stewart lets it run out. A little more time comes off the clock.
The look of experience there by Ernie Stewart. Very much aware of all the situations in this game.
Suarez battling with Wolf. Wolf wins it to Stewart. Armas, the volley. Pardo heads it forward. Cepeda, beautiful touch. Hernandez challenged hard from Armas. Play on. Victor Ruiz going long. Cepeda well offside. A good 4 yards there. Pope and Agus both had him tracked.
Overall, again, the United States, their back 4, now their back 5, have done a pretty good job of stepping up in a line to catch Mexico offside. They did it early in the game 4 or 5 times consecutively. Got lucky on one offside call. Remember, Luna would have been all the way in.
Agus can spot the ball nicely. Launches it diagonally. Wolf challenging Macias. Chima Ruiz belting it in the air. Yamosa's first touch. Kobe Jones dangerous from here against Macias. Jones trying to cut to the corner of the box. Josh Wolf racing onto the ball. Can't get it through Jones. Macias over Yamosa. Sane heading it down for Armas. Good possession here from the U.S. Holding the ball. Running off some clock. Taking it to Mexico's end of the field. Stewart. Armas. Agus. Listen to the support from the stands here in Columbus. Regis. Oh, what a turn! He's got Mathis, goes for the shot! Delusions of grandeur, perhaps. David Regis with one spectacular move, but couldn't follow it up with an effort on goal.
Hey, if you're the left back, how many chances are you going to get? You've been working hard all night. It's cold out there. Hey, take a crack at it.
It's the move of a career for David Regis. In fact, it appears that Regis is more of a midfield position right now, with Yamosa coming in to beef up the back line. Regis has had the freedom playing for FC Metz, his club team in France, to play in a variety of roles. But right now, everybody on the U.S. is playing defense. Victor Ruiz will have the free kick. This portion of the match brought to you by Hershey's Syrup. Eddie Pope is there again. Sane clearing. Victor Ruiz. Villa. Chima Ruiz. Wolf attacking him. Arellano against Mathis. Pardo. Victor Ruiz. Villa. Ruiz. Agus. Holds. Goes long for Wolf. Too far. Suarez getting a challenge from the youngster. Has to play it to Campos.
It's about time for Campos to swap his goalkeeper jersey and go out and play forward for Mexico.
The attendance in Columbus, full house, 24,624. Kansas City, you're next. Tickets are on sale for that home game in late April at Arrowhead Stadium.
April 25th against Costa Rica.
Valencia. Cepeda. Regis picks him. Wolf. Suarez on his back. Pushed down. Good foul against Mexico. Listen to this support.
David Regis, big defensive play. Also an important play here to draw the foul by Josh Wolf, shielding the ball very well, forcing a foul out of Claudio Suarez.
Reggie. Wolf doing yeoman's work, sprinting long runs up front, trying to stretch the Mexican defense, at least trying to keep it honest, trying to keep it from getting too comfortable too far forward.
If you can't run when you're 24 years old, Josh Wolf also coming on later on in the match due to that injury to Brian McBride.
Palencia in traffic, tumbles down. Pope and Armas pin him. This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet.
Well, Landon Donovan on the bench for the USA, but they've made all 3 substitutions, so you won't get to see him tonight.
Victor Ruiz chipping into the box. Sane heading it down. Pardo. Cepeda. Back into the box. Pardo will get another chance. Crosses hard. Armas goes back. Jones pops it up against Arellano. Victor Ruiz a little trouble here in midfield, and Mathis chasing hard. Push called against Mathis in the 86th minute. Macias. Arellano, flashy player, has shown some moves. Villa. Out of the wing is Cepeda, takes it, works on Stewart. Hernandez goes down in the box, pops up. Who else but Chris Armas? Llamosa clears it away. Jones looks up, holds the ball, and then just belts it. Chima Ruiz. Arellano. Llamosa trying to force him high. Arellano to Palencia at the edge of the box. Llamosa is back. Armas with Llamosa in tandem. And here we go again. It's Mathis looking for Wolf. Macias. Here comes Stewart on the dead run in the middle of the field. Wolf holding. Heals it. Time waster. U.S. gets the throw. Josh Wolf showing a lot of maturity.
Showing those jets again, too, as Mathis tried to play that early ball over the top of the Mexican defense, which paid off in the goal in the 47th minute.
How many times the U.S. has played games in this country and the chance have gone the other way? Here's Josh Wolf racing up into the middle of the Stewart!
Josh Wolf racing past several Mexico defenders, getting the ball out front. Watch this individual effort here. A star in the making. He showed it at the Olympic Games. He's showing it now in a World Cup qualifier, holding off the last defender, coming straight through with a well-timed run. Ernie Stewart, he knows what to do with those, but it was Josh Wolf who did all of the work. A magnificent quick turn in the corner, racing past a handful of defenders, and then setting the table for Ernie Stewart.
A drive goes wild, high and wide. Let's look at the All-State save of the day when this thing was still in doubt, and Friedel came up huge.
Well, and Brad Friedel looking for his 3rd career shutout against Mexico. He's very close now. Luis Hernandez into Paco Palencia. Palencia has a chance to really get some power behind this shot, but Brad Friedel, well positioned, drives it away.
The United States not only has come a long way in a short time, but beyond any other quality, it has shown a massive amount of grit. That is what we've seen tonight, as the 2 stars that we highlighted before the game went down to injury in the first half. The subs have come through in huge fashion. Josh Wolf, a goal and an assist. Oh, now we get some brutality away from the ball and tempers flaring. Reggie is going at Hernandez, who went at Sane. Sane is down holding his face. And it's a free-for-all out there right now. Clint Mathis. Oh, just took one across the chin from Campos. And now Pope is going against Palencia. Many tempers out of control here.
Very lamentable here. The game, there's the forearm right in the face to Sane from Luis Hernandez. That's unnecessary. Clint Mathis there putting his arms a little bit on there, but the follow-up. Yeah, it's obviously frustration on the part of the Mexicans, but they need to show better sportsmanship, frankly. But you know what? They're also trying to bait the United States. They know this is a 10-game series, and the fact is, if they get a couple of yellow cards racked up on the U.S. side of things, maybe later on down the road, the United States will be missing some players. So it's all part of the gamesmanship.
Josh Wolf has a Gordie Howe hat trick tonight, if you will. He's got a goal and an assist and a yellow card. And by the way, just to point something out, Claudio Suarez, captain of Mexico, while that melee was beginning, was trying to calm things down.
He's a pretty classy guy.
No doubt, and has shown it tonight in many ways. Mexico in desperation here, in stoppage time. We have not gotten an official signal from down below as to the exact amount of stoppage time. Campos well out of his box. Of stoppage time at the discretion of the referee. 2 minutes.
If you're playing for the United States here, get the ball out. Also play it quickly, because you hold on to it, you're going to get fouled.
Zepeda. Pardo. Hernandez against Agus. Zepeda. Palencia pops up the header. Zepeda, Villa. Pardo. It's deafening at Columbus Crew Stadium. Hernandez. Zepeda. Kobe Jones heads it up. Macias settles it down. We should be in the final 30 seconds. Ciprian is looking at his watch. Ariano against Llamosa. The United States gave up no goals on American turf in the semifinal round of qualifying. He's trying to open the final round with a shutout. Zepeda against Regis. The cross, Sane gets a piece of it. Macias the challenge, it will be a corner. This could well be the very last moment of the game. The temperature has dipped all the way down to 20 degrees. It has been a most uncomfortable second half for Mexico, and a most impressive one for a gritty American squad.
Well, Mexico takes the United States and all their opponents to Mexico sitting well over 7,000 feet in altitude.
It's over. The corner is not taken. And listen to the crowd in Columbus. Brian McBride taken out of the game by injury. It is so hard to beat Mexico. This is only the 10th loss in the history of its World Cup qualifiers, well over 90 games. The exchange of jerseys and Campos's goes to Wolf. We will be back to Columbus Crew Stadium to wrap up a dramatic victory by the United States in World Cup qualifying. 10 tough games begin with one dramatic win. 2-0 over Mexico in Columbus. Rob Stone is with the man of the match.
We are joined now with our Chevrolet man of the match, Josh Wolf, a $1,000 donation made in your name to the U.S. Soccer Foundation. Congratulations. 2 games versus Mexico, 2 goals. You got an assist tonight as well. We're going to watch the monitor right in front of us. Take us through the game winner.
Well, I think we went at halftime, and Clint Mathis and I definitely agreed on that type of ball right there, where he gets it, looks up first time, and I get on the end of it. Jorge came out, and it took a good bounce. I got a piece of it and was able to tap it home.
Now on the assist, you're a sniper. You know they're picking up on you.
Yeah, they were tight in there, and as long as I could get around the first guy, I knew I had guys in front of the goal, and Ernie Stewart made a great run to get open, and I was able to find him.
A goal and assist for the newly married man. Hey, this marriage thing's working out all right. Congratulations. Send it back out to Jack and Ty.
Thanks, Rob.
Rob, thank you. Ty Keogh, final thoughts.
Well, a scrappy game in many respects, but the fact is the United States overcame adversity and those injuries and came back and won on home soil, and that's what you need to do to qualify for the World Cup.
9 tough ones left to get to Korea, Japan for 2002. There are 6 teams in the group. The U.S. trying to finish in the top 3. Our next soccer coverage comes your way on Saturday. Brazil against the United States, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC Sports. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Ty